Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our new series, Lucha Underground Luchador Spotlight. This is going to be episode 2, and today, because again, we're trying to go relatively chronologically here, we're going to be covering Blue Demon Jr.
Yes, as you guys know, our first episode, our inaugural episode, was on Chavo Guerrero, a man embroiled in a feud with Blue Demon Jr. Well, today we're going to look at the other side of the coin, Ashton.
Yeah, and as far as Chavo goes, he had a lot more going on throughout the first season than Blue Demon. But on the other hand, Blue Demon Jr., pretty much everything that he had going on in season 1 was related to Chavo, so I felt like it would make more sense to do Chavo first.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, well, do we want to kind of talk about his season 1?
Yes, let's get right into it.
All right, to start things off, obviously, he was in the first ever match on Lucha Underground. He and Chavo started things out on a good note. They shook hands to start the match and everything. It was a very by-the-numbers match. We didn't really get any kind of iconic Lucha Libre moves or anything like that. I even have in my notes that it almost felt like a WWE match, which is great because it's a great way to initiate people to the Lucha Underground brand. At one point, Chavo hit a slingshot crossbody to the outside, but that was about it as far as the Lucha goes. Another note that I have on this match is that the crowd couldn't really decide who to cheer for in the match. But Blue Demon did end up winning with El Pulpo, which I guess is his finishing submission move. It's a sharpshooter where he cranks on the opponent's arm while he has the sharpshooter locked in. And that was about all we saw of Blue Demon in episode 1.
Yeah, Blue Demon having a successful debut, winning the first matchup, which I feel like was the smart decision because he's the bigger legend. And so, yeah, it really sets a tone for what we can expect from Lucha Underground going forward.
Yeah,
So.
and I think it was so smart that they had this match because there are a lot of people. It really did bring together everyone that could be a part of the target audience because you have WWE fans who are familiar with Chavo, and then you have AAA fans who are extremely familiar with Blue Demon. And really, it's just kind of a best of both worlds situation.
Absolutely. I think that's very smart marketing, especially when you frame it that way.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, let's maximize our audiences on both sides. And I think they really did well with that here.
And then, of course, later on that night, Cueto confronted Chavo regarding bringing in somebody to retire Blue Demon. So we know that pretty much the main reason that Cueto brought Blue Demon into the fold was for the sake of making an example out of him. He wanted to retire the guy.
Exactly. Cueto saw Blue Demon Jr. as nothing more than a means to the end of really legitimizing his temple. Like, look, a legend was taken out here, so he's just trying to find the right person to do that.
And of course, then episode 2 said new guy coming in to retire Blue Demon ends up being Mil Muertes. So we get that match. That was actually the main event of episode 2 was Blue Demon versus Mil Muertes. And yes, Mil Muertes did win, and then he continued the attack, and Chavo comes out looking like he's going to save Blue Demon, but then cracks him over the head with a chair.
Right, so Blue Demon has a rough night. He loses to Mil Muertes, and he was close to being, I guess, full-on retired, if you will, or dead, or whatever term you want to use in relation to Mil Muertes. Chavo allegedly makes a save, only to reveal his true colors and assault Blue Demon with the chair, so...
Yeah, and honestly, I think this was the last time we saw Blue Demon Jr. until episode 10.
Yes.
Because in episode, I want to say 7. In episode 7, Chavo had that sit-down interview where he called Blue Demon Jr. a fraud, but then later that episode, we had Sexy Star come out and say that Blue Demon Jr. is coming back, and he's coming back for Chavo.
Right.
So then we get to episode 10, Chavo in the ring wanting to apologize to Blue Demon Jr. to mend the bridge that he burned between the Blue Demon family and the Guerrero family. Chavo, of course, does apologize, but then he apologizes for not exposing Blue Demon as a fraud, removing his mask, replacing it with one of blood, grabs some brass knucks, and goes to attack Blue Demon. Blue Demon ducks, takes Chavo down, and then whacks him over the head with a chair, and then again in the back, and that was about all we saw of Blue Demon. And that was, not even joking, that was the last we saw of Blue Demon for a long time.
Yeah, really, this was all meant to, I guess, wrap up the ends with Chavo, at least for the moment, in terms of their feud. He gets his comeuppance here with the chair, again, bringing back that symbolism. That chair was really a core part, the central part of this whole feud. So Blue Demon comes out on the winning end there. And again, like you said, then he has like a major drop-off here, and we don't see him until much later.
Yeah, he disappeared for 20 episodes. His next appearance was in episode 31 of Lucha Underground Season 1. in a match against Chavo that Chavo demanded, and it was no disqualification. And of course, Chavo had the help of the crew, so it ended up just being a beatdown. It wasn't even really a match as much as it was just leading, leading him to slaughter.
Exactly. A Blue Demon again, it was just kind of that means of legitimizing what I would call Crew 2.0 and really giving Chavo that air of confidence that it would carry, for the remainder of season one. Just thinking, oh, now that I have this protection, what we did to Demon, nobody in Mexico is going to think to touch me. So yeah, Blue Demon was really meant to serve that purpose, as we'd see here.
I feel like I would call it like Crew 4.0 because
Crew,
like
yeah.
the first incarnation it was just Cisco and Cortez. And then it was, or no, the first incarnation. No, you know what? I guess it would be 3.0 because the first one was Cortez, Cisco, and Big Rick. And then Rick got replaced with Bale. And then Bale got his face eaten off and he was replaced by Chavo.
Yes.
So later on in the night, though, this was the episode where he confronted Black Lotus in the cage and said, after what I did to Blue Demon, Mexico wouldn't have the balls to do anything to me.
Right.
So we know that at one point Chavo beating down Blue Demon Jr. was this big, like, holy crap, the people of Mexico are going to be super pissed. And now he beats down Blue Demon again, and I guess it was just convincing enough that that Mexico is going to be a little bit more docile towards him.
Exactly. Just thinking, wow, you know what, these guys, they really know how to put a hurting on somebody. I don't want any of that. And that's kind of what Chavo has in his mind. So in his mind, he's secure now for Mexico.
Yeah. So then in episode 34, after Chavo loses his world title match, Blue Demon mocks him for losing. But then Chavo kind of gets in his head, talks about how Tejano is Mexico now, not you. And of course, Blue Demon Jr. snaps at that point, and that's the old I am Mexico line comes from that we love so much. But yeah, Blue Demon at this point is definitely about to break.
Yes, we see that Chavo has really sown the seeds, for mind games to be played to kind of get Blue Demon Jr. questioning himself at this stage of his career, which I think, is smart. I wish it could have been paced a little bit better, as I said in Lucha Rewatch, but I like the premise because we've got this legend who is older. Here's Tejano, whose career is hot. He's got momentum, particularly in AAA, and he's thinking, well, maybe, it's kind of like a torch passing kind of crisis, so to speak. And I like that they played with that. So yeah, Chavo definitely playing the mind games here.
Yeah, and then in episode 35, which is the following episode, we saw the crew attacking Tejano after Tejano cut a promo, and then Blue Demon came out and attacked Tejano, and then the crew tosses him a chair, and he uses it on Tejano, and then he does the old, you're not Mexico, I'm Mexico, and you will be fighting at Ultima Lucha, but your opponent will be me.
Yeah, so we see that Blue Demon Jr., who Matt Striker referred to as the original Rudo, has returned to that alignment. He does go Rudo here, and he lays down the gauntlet for Tejano for Ultima Lucha.
Absolutely. And then at Ultima Lucha, we don't see him until Ultima Lucha, and we see him against Tejano. Because he is a legend, he gets Cueto to add the no disqualification stipulation to the match. Of course, we see the crew decked out in blue coming out with him for this match, and it basically ends up being a 3-on-1 beatdown. Chavo comes out, and it looks like he's going to nail Tejano, and then he just gives the chair to Blue Demon Jr. So we have like a 4-way alliance here.
Exactly. They've mended the fence. They're both Rudos, and again, we have this new kind of stable here. Blue Demon, Chavo, and the remnants of the crew.
So it comes full circle. We start things off with them respecting each other, shaking hands, and we end with pretty much the exact same image because they started the season respecting each other. Now they respect each other again. The difference is at the beginning they were both face, and now they're both Rudo.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. At the beginning they were both Technicos, and now they're both Rudo.
Yes. So with that, I mean, where do you think Blue Demon is going to fit with the second season? I know in our inaugural episode, regarding Chavo, you didn't think Chavo was going to have as much of a splash in season 2 as he did in season 1. Do you have some more sentiments about Blue Demon Jr.?
I could see, here's the thing. If we look at season 1, he was only in 9 episodes. He was only actually on 9 of the 39 episodes, or in, I guess you could say, 9 of the 40 hours worth of content.
Right.
So I don't think that they're going to use him any more than that in season 2. But what I could see is a little bit more of this kind of I'm a legend, give me what I want kind of situation, like what we saw in Ultima Lucha. Maybe he politics his way into a world title match. Maybe he even politics his way into a Gift of the Gods title match.
I could see him in Gift of the Gods.
Yeah.
World title, I'm having, like, that's really making my brain go wild, and that's going to be a big discussion, I think, in future episodes. I'm going to have a lot of fun talking with you about certain guys. Blue Demon, though, I could see Gift of the Gods. Honestly, too, I could see him going back to being a Technico at Ultima Lucha, kind of coming full circle, because I don't know how long they'd want to keep him, Rudo. I know he just turned. And given that this season I've heard that A, they're going to have fewer episodes in season 1, and B, to your point, they didn't even use him for that many episodes in the first season. Maybe they would want to keep the Rudo thing going, but something tells me that he's going to turn back again. Maybe him and Chavo will have their rubber match, their third one-on-one matchup, because the first one Blue Demon Jr. won. The second one was pretty much a beatdown, but Chavo did get the win, and that was a sanctioned match. Maybe the stable will disintegrate, and then him and Chavo finally finish their beef, bringing that full circle after a 2-season feud. So
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's definitely a possibility.
I'm thinking either Give to the Gods, to your point, I really like that idea, or what my own original prediction will be instead of piggybacking off yours. I think Blue Demon Jr. is going to go Technico again. The group's going to dissolve over something, and it'll be Blue Demon Jr. versus Chavo at Ultima Lucha in their final encounter, this big rubber match. Maybe even with some kind of stipulation. I don't know, but that's what I could see happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that idea. I think Blue Demon Jr. in season 2 is just going to be. I don't necessarily think he's going to go back to Technico in season 2. Maybe at the very end of the season, maybe like Ultima Lucha he turns. But I could honestly see there are two things that I want to say here. First of all, I don't even know if he's going to be in season 2. I think he will be, but I don't think it's a guarantee because there's a very distinct possibility that he was only ever signed for a 1-season deal.
Right.
But then I also want to add, even if he was signed for more than 1 season, I don't know if he's going to be around past season 2 because when you get guys like Blue Demon Jr. who are straight up legends in their mid to late 40s, careers kind of winding down. Although I say that there are still 60-year-olds wrestling for AAA, so maybe I shouldn't. But still,
yeah.
Careers kind of winding down. I don't think that there's any guarantee that he's going to be around for very long.
Right.
So really, I feel like even though I want to try and project stuff for season 2, there's a very distinct possibility that he has this last great heel run in season 2, turns Technico at Ultima Lucha season 2, and then we never see him again in Lucha Underground.
I could see that. Yeah, I could very easily see that. I think you make a lot of great points. Again, Chavo and Blue Demon, with these early episodes, it's difficult to see where they fit for very different reasons. And, for Blue Demon, I think it is the age and the status and everything else. I mean, you don't know if he has obligations elsewhere, where he fits in the Lucha Underground scheme, in the Lucha Underground universe. But yeah, I don't really think he'll stay heel for very long. I think he'll stay just enough to maybe get past a title defense for this particular champion here or get over this hump of a feud there. But I do think it's a short-term thing. I think he'll go back to being babyface, and I do think him and Chavo, their business isn't over yet. They may be partners now, but as Chavo himself has even said, Guerrero's only loyal to the highest bidder, so who knows? Maybe somebody will come along that could offer Chavo even more than what a partnership with Blue Demon is offering him, and that may cause tension. So we'll see.
Daivari.
Maybe. Maybe, and he's going to be an interesting one too, but we'll have to wait until we get to him in his personal episode. So
absolutely. Yeah, and we will get around to him. We're going to try and touch on everybody. I know we're going to cover pretty much the whole roster. We'll probably even have episodes for guys like Ricky Mandel and Famous B and that kind of stuff because they're not irrelevant. I don't want to try and treat them like they're irrelevant because nobody in Lucha Underground is irrelevant. So we're going to touch on all of them. We're definitely going to do Vampiro. We're definitely going to do Cueto. Conan, I think we're going to probably do. I know we're going to do Katrina. I'm trying to think who else would we do, John. I don't think we're going to worry about like Santos or Stryker or people that don't really get involved in storylines.
No.
I think that about covers it. All of the in-ring workers plus Katrina and Vampiro.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Cueto, of course. We can't skip Cueto.
Yeah, the boss, El Jefe. So.
That's right.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about Blue Demon, dude. Unless you got anything more to say, I think we can actually wrap it up here because
absolutely, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 2 of the Luchador Spotlight, Lucha Underground Luchador Spotlight. Episode 3, John, are you thinking Saturday?
Saturday sounds good.
All right, we'll do episode 3 on Saturday. I want everybody to know that we are going to be putting ROH reviews on hold until further notice. I don't know when we're going to get back to doing those. But yeah, we'll do part 3 of our Luchador Spotlight on Saturday, where we'll be talking about, are you ready for this, John?
Who is it?
Sexy Star.
Not now. Now it's getting good. All right, I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun.
All right,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking about Sexy Star on Saturday. See you all then.